Hey, AfterBuzzers, you are tuning in for that first episode of Scorpion of 2017, Ice Cabes. So much happened. I love the episode. Walter and Paige were naked together, right? Let's talk about it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yes!
Such an easy song.
Right? We've never picked a song faster.
That's
Never.
true, yeah.
This is like the song is Ice Ice Baby, obviously. And it's such a great song. I wish I knew the words. You know
Yeah,
the words?
no.
Man.
But it's good.
Guys, we've let you down. We don't know the words to the song. But welcome to AfterBuzz TV. Hey, 2017 first episode of Scorpion. And it was great. I'm Monse Bolanos, here to talk about it with you. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Monse Bolanos, MonseBolanos. And across from me, who else? Obvio. Susannah Kim.
Yeah. You guys can find me at Susannah_Kim, SUSANNAH_Kim.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just loving the song.
I know, it's so cute. I just want you guys, I'm in the live chat, and there's a million people here. Thank you guys
Thank
for joining
you.
us.
Happy New Year.
Stephen Cadena, Just Sheldon, Flora Capacity, Mark Escobar, Anna G, Megan Rickards, Ivan Soto. Look at all these names.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys are the best.
We
but
love
yeah,
you.
I was watching the intro. It's so cute that they had their lights going on.
Yeah.
Love it.
Guys, here we are.
Yeah.
Ice Cabes.
Ice Cabes.
Cabes. I can't do it.
Cabes.
That's what it is.
Like the escapades.
That's right. I can say that one. But
Yeah.
great episode.
I liked it too.
Like there was things like there was honestly one thing where I was like, well, that's weird. It was a little cheesy at times, but it worked. I thought it was very high stakes, which sometimes the story is high stakes, but I don't care. You know what I mean? About the high stakes.
Right, because it's a mission that we don't care about.
It's the mission, and I'm like, I'm confused anyways. So the high stakes involved Cabe this time, which was, obviously we knew he wasn't going to die.
Right.
Obviously. What if he would have died?
That would have been epic.
I mean, he technically died for an hour.
Right.
But, what if he just didn't come back to life? It was crazy. It was crazy. And I normally watch, like, the episode twice, 3 times, and come and chit-chat. This time, I was only able to watch it once right before coming in here, and I'm super bummed because it was such a good episode. I watched all those crappy episodes like 3 times.
Not crappy, but not
But
as
crappy.
good.
Yeah, totally. So I'm super bummed because I really liked this episode.
It was good.
There was so many cool things about it. I like the writing. I like the wittiness that, Happy had and Toby, because Toby was witty the whole time. And, like, Toby had, I feel like, the hardest episode.
Really?
He was so involved, like, hardest in...
the hardest job.
The hardest job.
Right,
Even,
right.
like, constantly, like, he was the one that was...
He had the most pressure.
The most pressure the entire time.
Yeah, and it was nice to see him as, like, that sort of doctor. We always see him as, like, the psychologist or whatever,
Right.
so it was nice to see him, like, actual medical doctor.
Like a doctor. Right. Like
Yeah,
somebody that
good
can go in
stuff.
someone's body and stuff. That's crazy. But I mean, let's get into it. We start off the episode at the garage, which also weird. In this episode, we didn't end at the garage, which doesn't always happen. I think this is like the second, maybe third time tops that it doesn't end in the garage.
So true.
So we start at the garage, and the recap that they gave you kind of were like, okay, what's going to happen here? Because you're really focusing on a lot. The recap was really focusing a lot on Cabe, and, like, they showed how he was living
Allie.
with, and living with Happy. So, like, you were kind of like, what's going to happen here? And obviously, the name of the episode.
And they also reminded us of all the Tim stuff. I was like, wait,
Right.
is he going to be in one last episode?
Yes. How
but
is he?
They didn't. He's gone. I think that was just their way of reminding us that this is why he's gone. Because they didn't mention it, like, at all. Except for, Walter being like, you're still mad at me for the Tim thing, But he
Right.
wasn't in it. Yeah.
Right. I mean, he's gone, but
So
I
he's
feel like we
gone.
have to.
He's
So
in
that's
Jordan?
it. We're just never going to see him again
I assume. Until, what? What did he say? He's back in 8 months?
in 8 months. So it's
August
kind of
of
like
next year when this show started.
I just
Season 4.
not that I want to dwell on Tim, but if like I don't care. But I'm saying, like, if we don't get, like, we should have gotten an episode where it's like he's leaving,
A goodbye,
like
yes.
a goodbye episode with
I
Tim,
agree.
not just like he he's off to.
Right. Not that it was just
And if they would have broken up and he would have left, okay, that's the goodbye episode. But like that wasn't a goodbye episode because they expected to make it work.
Right. They just told us.
They just told us that. So I as much as I don't want him,
exposition.
I hope there's a goodbye episode where he comes back and then it's like they break up and then. You know,
I don't think so, though.
All right.
Well, I think it's over.
Fine, whatever. Bye,
But
Tim.
I mean, yeah.
Bye, Tim.
But we were asking for him to leave for a while, so, you know, at least we got that.
That's true.
Maybe that's why we enjoyed the episode so much.
Because Tim
he wasn't
in
there
it.
to annoy us.
That's true. It's true. Even though in the very beginning of the episode, when they're in the garage, there's lots of stuff happening. They're playing what I called giant shuffleboard. Susannah told me it's called curling.
I think it's curling. I don't
If
know.
it's not,
I'm sure
tell
you
us.
guys will tell us. Yeah.
But
It's an
to me-
Olympic sport, right, guys?
Right. But it looked like a giant shuffleboard with the broom. That's what I thought. It looked very fun. And Happy makes a mechanical arm. That's what I was trying to say, but I wanted to say it all together. Happy makes this mechanical arm to obviously win at the game and stuff.
Yeah.
But what I really enjoyed about that beginning was when they talked about Tim, and they were like, 25% of our cases, or 29% of our
Right.
cases, he was integral. Now they get crappier donuts because he used to pick up the better donuts.
Big deal.
It's like, you know, what did they say? Winchell's was no.
Did they say Winchell's? They probably said another.
I feel like they said a real one and then
really?
a fake one, but
Oh,
maybe
I
I'm
don't know.
tripping.
missed
But
it.
you know, it's like when you used to get Dunkin' Donuts and then you can't get that anymore.
Krispy Kreme is what it is.
Krispy Kreme.
It's my favorite.
Oh.
It's so good.
Here's the thing with Krispy Kreme, not to divert from the episode. I can have one Krispy Kreme and enjoy it and just love it melting in my mouth, and then I don't want any more because it's so much sugar and it's so sweet.
But you can have 2 Dunkin' Donuts.
I can have 2 Dunkin' Donuts, or I can have like 30 donut holes from Dunkin' Donuts.
too much.
Like their chocolate cake, their blueberry one.
So I
Oh,
think Dunkin' Donuts is a little more dense, and I don't like that. I like how light and fluffy.
but
Krispy
it's like
Kreme is.
the coat of sugar that is
There's
on.
a lot of sugar on there.
I think it's the coat of sugar. If it
glaze.
was a thinner coat, I
Should
think
do a light glaze.
like a light. There you go. Krispy Kreme 101. 101.
What are we talking about?
Tim. I actually really enjoyed all of that they brought up Tim, that
Yeah.
they mentioned that the donuts, and then Walter's like, no, we're all replaceable. We're just a machine. It's like, Walter, why do you suck? Why do you
course.
suck so much?
Of course.
You know who
but I
else-
like that he included himself in that too.
Yes, he
was-
did.
And they mentioned the whole Ralph being smarter than him. Yeah. So now
Yes.
we know Ralph is first.
Yes.
And then the rest of them fall in line.
Yeah.
I like that. I can't wait to see that come in like more in handy. You know.
Right. Because you're right. They had never really addressed that, and we had questioned
Now we have
it.
a
You had
ranking.
questioned
Yeah,
it.
we had talked about it before.
Yeah.
Maybe they heard us.
And like Walter and Paige have a moment.
Sorry, real quick. We have people Duncan for me, Stephen Cadena, Megan, Krispy Kreme for me. I love that you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Talking
Thanks.
about what we're talking about.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh,
Dunkin'
man.
Donuts. I'm actually
Okay.
really a big fan of just the mom and pop donut
Okay,
shop.
and then what happens in the episode is
And then they eat a donut. No. Okay, so then Walter and Paige have that moment of like going back to normal, and then it's like nothing is back to normal.
Right. Nice
And-
try.
Nice try. And obviously you knew that was just the beginning of something. But we don't really get a lot on the mission. They head over. Oh, well, before that, we find out Cabe sucks with women again.
Yeah. And I
visits.
love the way that Paige says it too. You suck at girls.
You suck at girls. She wanted you to ask her out. That was so cute. I actually really enjoyed that whole interaction between them.
Yes, it was so awkward and cute because Cape's like an older guy, so sometimes I think of him as being like very charismatic and suave and whatever. Like he always keeps his cool during things. He's very
Right.
like witty and quick. Even when he was like dying and coming out of it, he was making jokes and stuff.
Right.
And then of course here's this pretty girl, and he can't
doesn't know
hold
what to
his
do.
yeah.
He doesn't know what to do. She's 10 years younger than him, but
Everybody
everyone's
is.
10 years younger than him.
Love that.
Allie is played by, I'm going to let you try and say her name.
Okay, yeah. What's her name? Reiko Aylesworth.
There you go.
That's how that's
Thank
how
you.
I would say it.
Thank you. That's why
Aylesworth.
she said it.
poor
Because I would not have said it that way.
Yeah. Reiko Aylesworth. I don't
Thank
know.
you.
I like that name, Reiko.
Me
That's
too.
cute.
Reiko is cute.
If
Super
we're saying
cute.
it right, yeah.
Yeah, but that has to be Reiko, for
Reiko.
sure. That's
So
super cute.
She's pretty.
She's
I
very
like
pretty,
her.
and
Yes.
she's so natural. She's so believable.
Yes.
Like when I watch her, I'm like so into her,
Yeah.
just so mesmerized.
that
you know?
beat they had, where she's just like doe-eyed waiting for him, was so cute.
Yes.
I liked it. Yeah.
She, like, her stuttering was so, like, believable. Like, you know,
Yeah.
that's hard to pull off. When people try and use, like, ums and like, stutter, that's hard to pull off. It always comes off a little, like,
Forced
to
and,
me, yeah. With her, I was like, girl,
Yeah.
you're also smitten. How
Yeah,
cute
they're
is this?
so cute. I can't wait to see that happen.
Seriously, let's
They'll
make
probably
it happen.
give us that before we get Wage.
Probably.
You know?
And I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, he
Sounds about right.
signs off by saying to Allie, have a good time. Mm-hmm. And it was like, a good time for what? What are you saying?
Yeah.
What are you saying? Why do you suck, Cabe? Yeah. Why do you suck at that? But looking forward to it. So we head over to the federal pumping station. This is the mission, but the mission is quickly, like, forgotten. So
Yeah.
we don't even go back to it,
Yeah.
like, ever. But we head over there, and they're, like, looking at the stuff that they're trying to fix. Paige is very work with Walter as
Yes.
they're, like, checking stuff off.
Keeping
She's
it
like,
professional.
very professional.
Keeping it cold, too.
Yeah, I like how Happy made fun of Sylvester for wanting a fan.
Yeah.
That was so funny. Losing your manhood, all that funny stuff. I liked all that. But they start to look at the turbines. They're like inspecting it or whatever. The thing is coated in copper, and that's what's causing it to overheat. Cabe is outside. They're trying to fix it. They don't think anything's going to happen. Cabe comes inside because he's being nosy and wants to relax, and there's a lot of noise coming from this machine. And then it's like an explosion.
Yeah.
Like almost,
And you could hear it happening. I was like, shouldn't you guys be ducking for
Yeah.
cover? Like, you can hear it getting, if anyone was there.
that's something
you know?
bad's going to happen.
Yeah.
But everyone was so calm and
Yeah.
like, all right, we're just
She
going
was
to
like,
do
it's
this.
getting louder, so do something. So
I mean, well, Paige doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So, all right, Paige, we'll let it slide from you.
Common
But
sense.
even when, like, you're right, when Sylvester's like, okay, I am going to do this so that Happy can check. It was also like, no, there should have been more sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's get out, let's hurry up and do this.
Right.
But there's like an explosion, and a piece of the copper breaks off of this thing.
Which they never fix.
They never, yeah, we forgot. Once
They were like, we need the shrapnel. We need
Yeah.
to find the shrapnel. They find it, throw it on the ground, and that's that.
and I thought it was gonna come back later. 'Cause
Yeah,
they
I
threw
thought
it
so
on the
too.
ground.
Nothing.
Yeah, no, nothing. I thought it was like somebody's gonna step
They're
on
like,
it or
we're
something.
worried about Cabe now.
Yeah, completely.
That's the other thing.
It hits Cabe, and like it's funny because they're just like, oh, it fell, we gotta find it, and then you just see it, and it's like bleeding quick.
Yeah.
That thing is like sliced into his stomach.
It looks good. By the way, the makeup in this episode is
Yeah,
really good.
yeah.
I liked it. Yeah.
Everything was, yeah, I agree. All the shot, not to get too ahead, but since you said makeup and stuff, the shot where he's in the tub and it freezes over and like
Yeah.
you see it freeze into him.
The CGI. And the snake too. They did a good. Usually, a lot of times when they use,
Snakes.
animals and stuff, like it looks so fake and
Yeah.
poorly done. A couple of the things I was like, I don't know, but they did a good job mixing the real snake and the fake snake.
Yes,
Yeah,
I agree.
I liked it.
I agree. Totally. Totally.
Skipping to that, but yeah.
But anyways, there's just so much to cover.
Yeah.
But Cabe is essentially dying because he's bleeding out, and they have no time. The doctor or whatever helicopter that can pick him up is not going to be there for 90 minutes. That means it's really 3 hours till they can get him to a hospital type of thing. So they got to save him, and boy, is he lucky he was surrounded by geniuses.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I would have done.
He would have been done.
He would be.
Yeah, right?
Right?
Bye, Cave.
Like, how do you even think of all of the things
Seriously.
at that?
And surprisingly, a lot of it was kind of far-fetched, but, like, it didn't bother me. A lot of it, I like,
Yeah.
it makes sort of sense, because a lot of it was pretty simple,
So
Not
do you
simple,
think
but
right? So do you think you accepted it because it was addressed of how far fetched it was? Like one of them was like, "This is ridiculous," and then Toby's like, "Well, sometimes you got to gamble. As a gambler, you sometimes have to take risks."
I think it's because they're so desperate. It's like, well, what else
What
are you
else
gonna
are
do?
you gonna
Yeah,
do?
it's like there are no other
Right.
options. You might as well do it out of desperation.
Right.
But like a lot of things, just like the clamp, like it just makes sense. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Like a lot
that
of it
was-
just like made logical sense even to me.
Right.
So yeah, I liked it.
But like we said, Toby is the one that really has to get his hands super dirty in this whole episode. He's the first one to dig into Cave's body to take the piece of copper out and to clamp the artery that's like
Yeah.
torn.
He saved Cabe's life.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
if he
really
wasn't there,
did.
they wouldn't have been able to do any of it.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Right. But he's the first one that's just like really getting in there. Gross. I don't imagine sticking your hand in someone's body. And so they have a plan, but this plan is ridiculous. They're basically gonna kill him,
Yeah.
freeze him,
Yeah.
and they were like, no, we can't do that because his brain needs oxygen. So that's why they're going to freeze him so that they don't need the oxygen to the brain. And then they're going to thaw him back, essentially, and slowly pump his heart again.
Yeah.
Whew. And they need a lot of stuff to do all this. So
And they're in the desert.
They're in the desert, guys. This is like ridiculous, but I loved it. I loved it. So many things. They called it suspended animation, I think is what Sly referred to it as. And so they need glue. So they got to make glue. They need hydrogen sulfur to reheat the heart or the body and not to hurt the other organs. Like, it's to protect his body, because if they just reheat him, bad stuff's gonna happen. And they need blood thinners so that when he gets warm again, that he doesn't bleed out. All those things they need.
Yep.
And these geniuses can do it, not normal people. So we get the glue. They create this glue from like
gas and styrofoam.
Right.
I was like, can I do that? It looks like fun.
And it was like an expanding glue almost, it looked like. Like it was gonna seal, like that gorilla glue that like grows. That's what I instantly thought of. I was like, all right, okay, so Happy's on that. She's making the glue. And then we need the blood thinners. So we need to send Sylvester to get a snake.
This is the only thing I was kind of like, really? You're gonna send Sly?
Right!
Out of all the people. And he just said that he's the one that knows where the hot springs were, so I feel like it's logical that he would go to the hot springs.
Yes.
But of course they wanted to get, Walter and Paige naked.
Right.
So Sly is going to get this rattlesnake.
Then it should, I agree. That literally was the one thing. They could have had him do the glue.
Yeah.
And then send Happy to do the snake.
Makes so much more sense.
So much more sense, because that was kind of hard to believe that he was successful.
Exactly. And that he wasn't like scared out of his mind, you know?
And in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, and he came running back with the rattle in your hand, so you drove back holding that. I don't know. I would love to have seen that shot.
Yeah.
Like driving with the rattlesnake, But yeah.
Yeah, that was the one thing. That was literally the one thing.
Me too.
But we do send Sylvester over to get the snake. So let's just talk about what Sylvester does with the snake.
Yeah.
To get that out of the way. He tries to linger the snake over, or...
Lure.
I was like, Susannah, give me the word.
Yeah,
give me the word.
lure.
I know you know what I'm talking about. Give me the word right now. Lure. That's what it was. The snake on over by using his phone and his song, the heat, the rattling, the like vibrations.
Yeah, I liked it. That made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, once he was there, what they did was fine. But it was just the fact that it was him. It was like,
exactly.
Wow.
Me too. It was the fact that it was him.
That it was him. Because everything that he did, I loved how he was like, you should, if you're pregnant, then I guess you wouldn't want food, but where's daddy's snake or whatever?
Like, what exactly was the plan there? So the snake would have bitten the phone, and then what? And then you were going to grab it? Or you know what I mean? Like,
yes, that was the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were going to pull it out, and you thought it was just going to stay onto your phone, and
we
you were
still
going to
didn't
run
see
out.
how he exactly got the daddy either.
No,
so
no.
I don't know. We'll give it to you guys, but
Because it would
I
have
don't
been
know.
believable.
Yeah.
He probably had somebody help him.
Yeah.
Probably some guy. Hey, excuse me, sir.
Where's the PA? Can I get a PA on set? Where's the snake wrangler?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's literally
Other
all.
than that,
Other
yeah.
than that, like, he runs up with the snake, and he has the pliers that he took from Happy. I liked it all. It's just, why him? Why him? That's more of that's more of what it is. And like when I was reading something that I was like, when they're gonna freeze him. So they have him in the tub. They got the water. They got the car. They got the thing that's gonna freeze him up. And he asks, what are my chances of survival? And Toby tells him 5% tops.
I've never heard that so low. Usually the percentages they give are much higher.
I was like, what's it going to be? 27.
Yeah, right? Even that would have been like,
5. And you know what? I wish...
Snake wrangler.
It's true. I wish it would have been, like, I don't know, the 5%, it's like... So this really wouldn't have happened.
Right?
Like this, if it would have been like a 20-some%, we would have been like, okay.
They wanted to put it out there in case any actual like doctors were watching. They're like, you guys, we get it. This is ridiculous. We're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
But we get it, you guys. It's 5%.
That's
probably
what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably what it was. You're right. That makes more sense. That totally makes sense. And they, have him there, and they're about to do it, and they're telling him, like, you're about to die, essentially. We're about to stop your heart. And there's, like, a really sweet moment with everybody.
Except Sly, right? Sly wasn't there.
Sly was not there. He was off to the snake. Yeah. The snake wrangler. Hashtag snake wrangler. Yeah. He's having this moment with everybody. And I got a little Like
up?
a little, like when Paige was saying
the kiss, the kiss on the head.
Yes,
that was killer.
It was. I was like,
well done, you guys.
Don't cry. You're in the studio.
That was good.
You're
Yeah.
at AfterBuzz TV. Don't cry. You're not at home. If I wasn't at home, I probably would have cried. Knowing me.
Yeah.
You know, I cry for everything.
Yeah.
I'm like Rachel. I cry over everything. I would have cried. And then freaking Walter just ruins it.
Yeah. Although I kind of felt like a little bit, just to, devil's advocate.
Dale.
Happy with all she said was like, oh, let's play Stratego. That's the game or whatever.
Yeah.
Roomie,
Right,
so
right,
it's not like hers was like super heartfelt or really deep either. But I felt like Paige gave him a hard time, and it was a pleasure working with you. I mean, at least those are actual like talking about the relationship. I understand. I get it. I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, here's it wasn't. I think what bothered me of what Walter said was that Walter was saying like a goodbye, like you're not gonna make it by saying those words. Like it's been a pleasure working with you.
The rest of them are like you're gonna make it back.
Right.
Okay,
Everybody else
I
was
get it.
like a more positive, and Paige was the one that you're right was a little bit more sentimental compared to the others. But none of them were like saying a goodbye. Like
That's true. That's true. I didn't notice that. Yeah, Paige was like, "Don't leave me with these guys," and
Right.
yeah,
And,
Happy's like, "Make it back for this."
so that's what bothered me about it.
Yeah,
But I was
yeah.
like, you're
I get
such a. Which I guess it's Walter, but like that probably did not make Cabe feel very good. It's like, oh, so you, the smartest out of these people here,
Yeah.
you don't think I'm gonna make it. That's what you're telling me by saying those words. And he gets frozen,
Yeah.
just like that. I love that
Just
shot.
like that.
Just the water you see just get frozen in the tub. I loved how he got bluer and purpler
Yeah, they
and
did
paler.
a great job with the visuals.
Everything, even like
Looks
at
good.
the very beginning when he was in first shock, when he first was like injured, his lips instantly were like a little blue.
Yeah.
it was so good. It was so little details that I was like, I love it. So he's frozen, but they need to go get the hydrogen sulfur, whatever. And they need to get over to the hot springs. So who goes to the hot springs? We got Paige and Walter, which at first I obviously didn't expect them to be naked together, but I was like, oh, they're doing this so that they do this drive so that we can see this interaction between them. The drive was weird. This is another, and I'm not saying weird like awkward between them. I thought this is when they're like going back and forth with Toby and Happy, while Happy's like trying to still freeze them, because the freezing didn't happen as easily as they thought. Remember the hose broke, she's trying to fix it. And so like we're going back and forth between them, and I was like, we got these two losing their minds because they don't know what they're gonna do with Cabe because it's
Right.
broken, and then these two are just like
On their drive.
looking around. I was like,
Yeah.
And
especially with Walter's like things that he was talking about. He's like, oh, the air conditioner works great in here,
and it's like you're all on comms, so you're hearing them
Right.
freak out, and you're just through.
Right.
I hated that. That was, I think, my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah.
That whole the way it was shot back and forth, and just seeing them so different. And it's like the whole episode you've been on your comms because you've been saying, "Oh, what happened, Happy? Why didn't this work? What do you mean?" Da 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 da. And then all of a sudden, you're not in that state of mind. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, you have forgotten that Cabe is dying.
Well, at least she did. I mean, Paige did say something. She was like, "My mind is just where Cabe is right now and how intense the situation is." So she did say something at least to like save them a little bit. But yeah, I totally agree. It was like
stakes were-
when they pick and choose to use their comms is always so convenient.
Yes.
Yeah.
I felt like the stakes were like lopsided, and the scenes were back to back, and it was like, aren't we all on the same page here? Why are y'all so relaxed?
So it seems like we have a lot of chat going on in our live chat, and we have a few people saying that they're not crazy about Paige's attitude around this whole thing. We have some people saying Walter's reverting back to season 1 Walter, which I kind of agree a little
Okay,
bit, except
yeah.
for the end of the episode. I feel like
Yes.
we're getting a new Walter.
Okay.
But people are saying, or Ivan Soda, I really wanted to enjoy the Walter and Paige scene, but Paige's attitude completely ruined it. Did you think that at all? Is she like too mean to him? Is she shutting him down too much? Because I feel like that's what the talk is going on in here. Paige was so mean at the hot springs. She was. I didn't notice that.
That's
but,
so funny because I don't think she was as mean as she could have been.
But they
I
kept
thought,
mentioning in the episode that she was being very cold, which I thought was weird.
right? But I mean, Paige cold because Paige is so loving and warm and all that. So I guess for like Paige standards, she was very cold. But I didn't think she was. I thought, like I said at the beginning, she was very professional. Like the whole time, she kept it business.
True, and she is upset at him. You know, it could have been worse, I guess.
I won't necessarily. I don't think. I agree that her attitude bothered me the way it's bothered other people.
Yeah. But it seems like it's a consensus, so.
I feel like she could have been, like, legit bitchy. Yeah. Legit. And I don't think she was. Yeah, like, I think she could have been. Can I say bitchy? Well, I've said it like 3 times now. Yeah.
They say son of a bitch on the show, so we're good.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. But I think it could have been way worse. I think, you know, like, it could have been like, no, I don't want to work with him type of thing. But, you know.
Mark Escobar agrees with you.
Yeah.
Megan said, I felt it was more awkwardness than anything. I agree with that. It was an awkward ride.
Very awkward. And I think that's what they were trying to show, obviously. So they have that whole awkward thing. But that didn't bother me as much as the fact that I felt like the stakes were different, like I said. It's like, y'all in a different moon now? What the hell's going on? Just went to a different day. So they head over to the hot spring, and it turns out that it's an all-naked, all-natural hot spring.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
Hot. I loved the security guard.
Yes.
And him freaking eating that sandwich was a good touch.
Yes.
Whoever decided to put that sandwich in his hand was like, made him so much creepier and like.
Yeah.
And the way that Walter looked at him too, he was just eating his sandwich. Oh my god, I loved it. Whoever decided to do that, was a great decision.
It was.
So funny.
I agree. I agree. Because if he would have just been sitting there, like, it wouldn't have done the effect.
It was a nice, subtle, like, funny thing to put in there, and this, like, high, intense thing going on. That was a funny, like, side thing.
Right.
Loved it.
Right. I was like, what's going to well, obviously they have to go in, you know. But I didn't expect... it was just so quick. I wanted to see more of, like... how they got in there, like I know they showed Paige taking off her clothes, and then next thing we know they're in the hot springs. It would have been nice to like see them walk in and like people see them because obviously you walk into a crowd,
right?
Like you can't just sneak in there,
right? It's just holding a vacuum.
She's holding a vacuum. So it would have just been nice to see just a little bit more of the awkwardness of how it all went down, or like even a reaction to maybe Walter seeing her, something.
I missed that a little bit. Yeah, I felt like they missed the whole like them being naked together thing. Although I like the when they're in there, the stuff that Walter was saying, like him explaining the whole, like, my electrode's gonna reach over to your electrode, and then, like, talking about the tingling, I was like, okay, that was pretty well written.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I totally agree. They could have done a little bit more with, like, him seeing her naked, or, like, making a reaction, or between, like, him and the security guard, the security guard being like, you know, it's like, dang, you got a good one, or, you know?
Something, and it wouldn't have taken long.
Yeah, something
just
small.
Something small where... Imagine Walter for the first time seeing Paige take off her clothes. We missed that look. You guys, I can't. That was the other one thing.
He'll probably dream about it later. Maybe she'll come back up in a dream.
I would have loved to see that face. And like, because you know he would have made a very scientific, calculated comment.
Absolutely.
All of that. I wish we could have seen that.
This is killing me. I haven't said it. Said Walter is hairless. Cool.
So do we think, now here's the question of the chat, guys. Walter's hairless. Now, is he naturally that smooth? Or do you think he waxes the actor?
He reads the script and he's like, I'm going to be naked? Let me set my appointment. Yeah.
So do we think he's just, because, you know, he could be real smooth.
Maybe, but he's got a lot of hair and he's got a thick head of hair.
But his face doesn't look that...
It looks like he keeps it baby smooth now.
So you think he waxes? You think he lasers his chest?
I don't know.
Elliot Scable, what do? You
let us know.
You let us know.
You can come in here and show us.
Yeah, you can come in here, take your shirt off, and let us see for ourselves. Because camera changes stuff, you know?
Exactly.
You know? So that's the question of today's podcast. Is Elliot Scable a waxer or a laserer?
Au natural.
Or all natural? That is the question. We do want to know. All right, so they're naked, they get the hydrogen sulfur, and then they rush back to help Cabe. And at this point, I think Sylvester's also running back with the snake, probably at this point.
Yeah.
This is really cute this was a very, very cute moment. Toby and Happy inside Cabe, and he's like, you need to put the glue because I'm holding the thing. And she's like, you know, I'm about blood. Yeah, how do you feel about your friends dying? But what I really liked is when he kissed her. After it was done, it was so little, I was like, I'm proud of you. And then he kissed her.
So cute, which is true. Like, doing surgery for the first time in the desert, you know what I mean? You're assisting in surgery. Yeah. Good for you, girl.
That I loved all
cute.
of that. But again, going back to, I feel like Toby had the roughest day.
Absolutely.
Poor Toby.
Yeah.
Like,
and I feel like they didn't give him enough credit at the end, you know? Like, he was the same, like, he saved the day. He was a hero.
It's so true. And at we missed something where it looks like they can't help him, like, towards the beginning of this episode. And then Cabe looks at Walter and is like, Walter, help me. And it's like,
I loved that.
We missed that.
Yeah, we missed. I wrote it too. It's the first thing I wrote when he says, "Walter, help me." I loved it.
First thing you
it's
wrote.
the first thing. It's like I have like 5 notes here, and it's the only thing I wrote. And I skipped it. But
that was really good.
So
that was
sweet.
And it was to his son.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
obviously.
And it was like this moment that was. He wasn't saying it to all of them. He said it specifically to Walter because he knew Walter's boss man. And I like when Toby calls him boss. Like, you know, he's like, "Hey, boss." But yeah, I loved that. And I feel like, you know, Walter says in the beginning where he's like, "Oh, we could get another Toby." I wish they would have mentioned at the end Walter saying like, "You know what, Toby? Like what you did today, we wouldn't have been able to do that with any other, you know, because like you just know Cabe so well and blah blah blah." I don't know.
Like
that
you
would've been
couldn't have
cool.
done that without Toby.
Exactly.
You could not have. You could have maybe done it without.
But it's also like his personality, his like willingness to be like, "This is 5%, but we're gonna do it anyway." You know, not every doctor's gonna do that. So
it's true. It's very
Walter's
true.
Wrong.
It is. So we do have the snake at this point, and they need to put the venom in him to help with the blood thinning. That was also real funny. Like, you're just gonna let him bite him? Like, well,
Yeah. He's like, "I need a moment." Yeah. Give me a second. I like when Sly was like, "You're a rattlesnake. Use your rattle."
Use your rattle,
He came out of nowhere. Yeah, that was funny.
That was very, very funny. Then they start to thaw him or like reheat him back up so that they can get his heart going again, so that when the helicopter arrives, he can be alive and go. But he passes the like 98-degree mark that I think they were looking for, and it keeps going up, and his heart does not start back up. And then desperation kicks in.
I like that he didn't come back right away.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Walter attempts to do CPR to his heart, like, because it's just his heart's not coming back.
But I felt like that should have been a little mouth to mouth. No? Were they just like, "We don't want to do this," right? When you do CPR, you're supposed to mouth to mouth.
I know. But did he was
yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
On the oxygen.
For
Did he need
air
that
into
oxygen?
his lungs? I don't know. Maybe they just didn't feel like doing it. But anyways,
he
he came back, so it's okay.
And I did think about that because I
made
was
it.
like, is this CPR? Because he's not giving him mouth to mouth.
Right.
So is he just pumping his heart?
Yeah. It's
Or
like he's
attempting
just,
to pump his
hit
heart?
it. I mean, it's TV, whatever.
Whatever. But Walter attempts to do that, and when he's doing it, and he gets like into it, like very passionate. Good job, Elias Cable. Like even like spit. And I was like, is that real
Mark of a good
spit?
actor. Spit. That's our friend's reference for the day. You're welcome.
Friend's reference for the day.
Yeah.
But for a second, because it was like, I was like, is that real? Is that a CGI? Do they CGI spit? And then I was like, oh my god, no, that's his.
That's him. No, he did a great job. Yeah.
He did and totally, like, you're right. In that moment, I hope nobody ever has to go through that. But man, that must be terrifying. Like, I would have spit probably thrown up as I'm doing it. Like, oh man. And it still doesn't work. That's the thing. It still doesn't work. And so they're like, oh, we can electrocute him. Which at the beginning, they were like, we can't just electrocute him because of his organs. It's like going to, and it could fry his heart. Or Toby said something along those lines of that. But they're like, we can, we have electricity. We can give him like a jolt.
Yeah.
And so they put him back in the water, in the tub. And they like face forward. And when he's like, he's not inhaling, he's dead.
Yeah. Paige is like, he's gonna drown.
Yeah.
He's like, no, he's not. He's dead.
He's dead.
Like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he can't drown if you're not alive.
You're not alive. But it was I was like, man, so they're handling a dead body right now. That's
it's crazy.
And he gets shocked real bad.
I liked it.
Me
yeah,
too.
It was a great visual.
Yeah.
Visual.
Yeah, totally. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, man, nicely done.
I know,
yeah.
right? For some reason, it didn't bother me. It was believable to me. And, like, it's because we all know that if you throw an electrical item in a tub, that it causes electricity. So I feel like that was a very easy thing for us to accept.
Right.
You know, it wasn't like a new fact that they're like, oh, that's convenient. You know, we all knew that. So.
And I feel like however much power they're using to do it, that he would have jolted up that way. And he gets up, and they're still not right away, but then they get a pulse. Like, it doesn't happen immediately, but then they slowly get a pulse. And the helicopter shows up right at the moment. Like, literally, he's, like, waking up, and then there's, like, the helicopter. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, oh, so this took 90 minutes?
Right. And then when the helicopter was landing, all of a sudden it was sunset. It was a beautiful shot. That shot was gorgeous. Of, like, the sky was, like, pink and blue and stuff.
I don't remember
But
it.
I was like, how does this time work? What time is it? I guess, what month is it? The sun goes down earlier.
Yeah,
so,
the sun goes down
I guess it
earlier.
makes sense-ish.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was a nice shot, though. It was a great shot.
It was. And
then him getting on the jet or helicopter.
Yeah.
I loved that moment.
Yes.
I thought that was really sweet.
Yes, which I wasn't expecting him to say. So they're like, oh, only family can go on the helicopter. I was like, he's going to say, I am family. But
Right.
I wasn't expecting him to say.
To just straight up lie and be like, that's my daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought she was going to be like, I am family. And then
know.
she was going to be like, okay, come on.
And I kind of wish that Paige would have given him a little credit for that later,
Yeah.
you know? Or you know, the conversation he has with Cabe later. I sort of wish that Paige would have heard that. It's like, okay, that time's the comms weren't in, you know? But anyways.
She's mad. Maybe she'll give him credit later for it.
Yeah.
And then we all go to the hospital. Walter's there. He's the only one sitting next to Cabe. Very cute still. Cabe wakes up and he asks him how he's doing. And he's like, by my calculations, because I have my own thing that I'm doing.
Which is correct.
Which is probably, you're going to make a full recovery. And it's funny because he attempts to try and express himself to Cabe. And then stops and says that the gang is there and that if he's up for it. And I started writing, Walter attempts to express himself. Yeah. And then he does.
He actually does. He
actually goes, which we never
which
get
was
that.
so satisfying for us.
Yes. They always show Walter almost about to do something, and then he doesn't, and we never get it.
It almost makes it worth all the times where he, you know, let us down all those times. It's like, okay, well, it's like liking a cat, you know, because they're not always into you. Like, dogs are just always into you. But with a cat, you really got to work for it, you know? They, like, always decline you. So when they finally do, like, love you and give you a kiss, it means that much more, you know what I mean? So I feel like because it's always been so difficult with Walter, it's like finally getting it now. It wouldn't have meant as much had this happened, you know, season 1 or whatever, you know? It's because it's taken 3 seasons for us to get here. It's like finally, you know? So satisfying. Monse wants to say something about a cat. She hates cats or whatever, but
I just said,
you guys, that's what it says.
I get it, but I don't get it because I don't feel like that about cats. So but I get what you're saying. It's kind of like how Paige said, take a step forward, 1,000 steps back.
Right, yeah.
It's the same thing. That's what we feel on this end of it. Never getting him to do all the things that, you know, the loving Paige, loving other people, the expressions, all that good stuff. But he actually does it. He does it, and he tells Cabe that he loves him.
I know. Twice.
That's
sweet.
So cute.
And then he says, I love you too, son, which is sweet. Yeah. Because after you just called him dad. So it's like, you guys feel that way about each other. You're
very cute.
You guys like each other.
Yes. It was a cute, touching moment that if I wouldn't have been watching here, I could have teared
Anna G
up
said she cried in that moment.
Yeah. It was super sweet and super, you know, real after everything. So then the group comes in and is able to talk to Cabe wearing Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
LA
and they
King
got their
mugs.
King's cups.
Yeah, LA King mugs. Go Kings, apparently. And it's, you know, cute, fun, whatever. Walter tries to get out of that moment once they walk in.
Right, yeah.
He tries to go, like, talk to the other doctors, and then Paige follows him out. Paige following him out says a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Like, because if she truly still didn't care and she was just still just professional, she should have just stayed in the hospital room. But she follows him out. And then, you know, tells him again, like, the same thing she kind of always says. You constantly surprise me. I can't figure you out.
Yeah.
Type of thing. And she just tells him that, you know, they need to be together. And he should just come back. Like, literally.
It was nice and sweet.
It was nice and sweet. I wish it would have been a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, a little bit.
Yeah, me too. I wish that she would have seen that conversation. I wish she would have, like, said something about him saying that, you know, oh, you're... lying about him being his dad, or like
Yeah.
maybe she overheard just the tail end of that "I love you."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Or even her walking in with like them holding hands, her making a comment on that,
Well,
like giving him a little credit, you know?
I think that's why she said, "I can't figure you out,"
Right,
because she
yeah.
saw the hands
She saw the
holding.
moment, yeah.
But that's it. You're right. She didn't hear. She didn't. At least we don't think she heard.
Yeah.
But she did see the hands, and I think that's what she was addressing.
Or I was hoping once that Walter left the room, that Cabe was gonna say something to the whole group and be like, "You guys won't believe what Walter just said." How
would've
funny
been
would that
so
be? That would have
funny.
been so funny. But yeah.
And then that Paige wasn't in the room, so
Yeah,
he tells
yeah, yeah.
everybody else except Paige.
Yeah, of course.
And everybody knows that not Paige. That would have been
Right.
good.
That
That would
would've
have been good. So they go back in there, and then just when you think the group is not going to know about the nudist hot
yeah.
springs, they figure it out. Because Cave's like, "Oh, I'm going to ask Allie out," which he should. He needs to
Right.
talk to Allie, go to that Italian place.
Yeah.
Mentions those Hawaiian shirts, and I'm like, no. We're dirty. We blah, 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 blah. Then it's like, wait, how come your guys' clothes is all perfect?
Yeah. They got caught.
Yep, they got caught. And I wish, even if at the end of the episode, there would have been a little tidbit as to like another encounter, another interaction with them at the hot springs.
Oh yeah.
Like show, like in that moment when it's like, oh, it's awkward, and then cut to.
Or them when they're like, okay, now it's time to get out. Okay, you know,
Yes,
like, yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Why none of that?
Yeah, something like
Why
that.
none of
That'd be
that?
funny.
That would have been so good. Man, great episode.
Yes,
but we
good
could
stuff.
have made it a little better. A little
We're
better.
always asking for more.
We really are always
want
asking
more.
for it, but we could have made it a little better.
But it was good. Gosh, compared to the season so far, other than that one episode where we freaked out on
yes.
the space one. Was
Yeah.
that the season? That was a season, right?
The,
Was
yeah,
that last
the one that
season?
we loved.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was
yes.
season
yes.
episode 3, I think.
Yes.
Other than that one, this has been the best episode since then.
I agree.
Yeah.
I concur.
Absolutely.
I concur.
Yeah.
I think we covered it all, but do we have any predictions? And now,
your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
all right. So
Kate's
you
gonna ask out Allie. They're gonna get together.
Okay, and then that works out. That ends well.
I'm curious to see because I was thinking about the whole like Cabe and Happy thing, and like I'm thinking of Happy's wedding coming up and stuff. Obviously, the wedding's gonna be some crazy mission. I assume something's gonna happen. It's gonna be like when Cameron and Mitchell try to get married on Modern Family and have to
And
move
they
the
have
wedding 5 times.
5 times.
It's gonna be something like that, ridiculous.
Yes.
But I'm curious maybe if something like happens with like Happy's dad, and then
Real
Cabe
dad?
has to step in, and like
Yeah.
walk her down the aisle or something like that. Because I was
Yeah.
thinking, I was like, oh, it'd be sweet if Cabe walked down the aisle, but I was like, wait, she has a dad.
She does.
So what if something happens to him? You know, like that'd be a big like.
And we
thing to
do
happen.
not to, be like, there needs to be a death, but there needs to be a death in the show at some point. Like something that's gonna hurt us.
Yeah.
Like no.
Right. We had Megan pass last season.
Right, which was a death we were already expecting from the
Exactly.
beginning.
Right when we met her, yeah.
We met her and we're like, okay. So I feel like we need another
Something
death,
unexpected.
unexpected.
Yeah. Or even if it's not a death, like a major injury or
Right.
someone goes into a coma.
But some's got to go down.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it would be really cute to see Cabe walk happy down the aisle.
Yeah.
When do you think we're going to see the wedding happen this season? Because there's probably,
until
20
April?
episodes in this? So probably like 7 episodes left?
Oh, actually.
Or are they just going to prolong it?
I don't know. We'll see. It's got to be more than 7 episodes, right?
Well,
We're on
is it 20
we're
or
on
21, 22?
13, so I think
Do
we
they
did
have-
22 or 24 episodes. If we go through April, I saw, or like there's, all the episodes are not named, but they're listed on IMDb,
Right.
so
Let me see. I'll tell you right now.
I'm pretty sure we're going through April, so that's 4 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7.
Are we going to see Paige's mom again?
Is it mean to say I hope not?
Okay, on IMDb it's not updated. Because it just has it till episode 16, so that's
really?
incorrect. Yeah.
I thought I just saw it. But anyways, yeah. Paige's mom, I hope not. I think we will because
Yeah.
they didn't
end it, yeah.
they didn't
Yeah.
close the storyline.
Kinda
So
like
I'm
with
sure we
Tim.
will, but I'm just not into it. I don't really care. I don't care about that storyline. I don't care about Sly's election thing. He could win, he could lose. It would not make a difference.
The only
to
good
me.
thing about Sly's election is Allie. That's the only
Right,
thing
yeah.
that's come out of that election.
Yeah.
But that election, wrap that up. Bring Paige's mom back. Maybe kill her. Wrap that one up.
Wouldn't mind that.
Wouldn't mind that. Send us a postcard that Tim has passed in Jordan by some bomb or something. wrap that one up. But
Uh-huh.
like, don't leave open an open-ended story, and that's
Yeah.
what I feel like they're doing with Tim.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Like,
yeah.
it's kind of like up to your interpretation. What
Right.
do you think is gonna happen?
Right.
No me gusta.
They like wanted to get rid of him because everyone wasn't happy about it.
Right.
But the only reason why we weren't happy is because it took away from Wage. So.
Right. But I also
know,
just didn't like Tim.
Yeah, that's true.
I just didn't like him. Not nothing to the actor. I just didn't.
Right.
No sé.
His attitude towards the team, I didn't like
There
it.
was just things that I just did not like him.
Yeah, he didn't fit in.
No.
Yeah.
And neither does Paige's mom.
Yeah.
She needs to go too. All right, everybody. Guys, gals, cats, dogs, everybody listening to us, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the new year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy new freaking year. We hope you enjoyed the episode as much as we did.
Mm-hmm.
We hope that the episodes continue to be good.
Hopefully you'll be back with us next week.
Hopefully, yes.
next week.
Yeah, Susannah, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on social media at Susannah_Kim, SUSANNAH_KIM.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Monse Bolanos, MonseBolanos. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll be here next week for episode 14.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.